Simply put, culture is the personality of the organization. It's how you do things around here. And it really stems from all the people who are there. There's no main dominant culture. It's really the individual behaviors and beliefs of all the individuals there. I love it when a team has an empty space or a space on the team, and when we look at that empty chair, I say, what would that person need to know walking in here? And usually those are elements of the culture, the written and unwritten rules that you're to follow, the things that you're not supposed to do or no one would ever do until you step over that boundary. And a lot of times, I've been working with a Fortune 50 company for about 6 years now, and what I found in leading their culture movement is that we have a big overarching culture, but really it's the smaller subcultures that really enable and translate the big vision to life in their local areas. I call it the translation of the big culture into the little culture. Whether that's a managing director with your team or a new advisor starting to create your own team, there is a culture there. If you don't know what culture is there, then you haven't chosen it, but it's a default culture. So it's how you do things. And a lot of times, because you're in a production-driven, fast-paced, urgent, demanding role, sometimes it's not that feeling, connection, personal part, which people are craving right now. You spend more time at work than you do with your family. So I consider it more like a work family. And how is this work family going to communicate? How are we going to problem solve? Because those are the two things you do all day. You communicate and you problem solve. And each of us is wired differently. Each of us has our own habits and our hardwired DNA. And all of those DNA come together to create the culture of the team, which ladders up to the culture of the organization. The biggest challenge I see is tolerating different personalities at work, tolerating different people on the team. And in order to shift from surviving as a team to really thriving, I think you need to move from tolerating team members to respecting team members to really going beyond and appreciating the diversity of those folks. And that's hard, especially when you're on a timeline, tight deadlines, there's a rapid pace. It's really hard to step back and appreciate it when somebody stops and says, I think we're going too fast. Let me ask some questions. Your culture will determine whether people stay or whether they go. Right now, with unemployment rate at record lows, something around in the mid 2%, everybody who's working wants to work. People who aren't working probably don't want to work. And a lot of folks have a choice. The best talented players will leave if they don't have that culture there. So are you setting up and are you determining what you want the culture to be, and are you hiring people who are a culture fit, or are you hiring people based on experience? There's a will or a skill. Choose wisely.